Section 3, Voyages of Portugal and Spain by Katie, Helen, Emily, Claire, Caitlin, and Emily. Once upon a time in a faraway land called Portugal, there was a prince called Henry.
Hi, I'm Prince Henry, also known as the Navigator. My goal was to find gold for Portugal.
There were many explorations for trade routes.
Hi, I'm Bartholomew Diaz. I sailed around the Cape of Good Hope. I also found the route to the Indian Ocean.
Hello, my name is Vasco da Gama, and I sailed eastward across the Indian Ocean. I landed in India in the year 1498.
I'm Christopher Columbus, and I believe that a shorter route to Asia could be found by sailing westward instead of sailing around the tip of Africa.
I'm Queen Elizabeth. I was one of Spain's greatest rulers. My court was the center of learning and culture. I also helped unify Spain. I approved the voyage of Christopher Columbus to India, and when he found the New World, the great Spanish Empire in America was born.
The Columbian Exchange helped Spain become a major world power. It also introduced American foods such as potatoes, tomatoes, beans, and corn to Europe. Spain brought horses to the Americas. The Columbian Exchange carried diseases that the native and Spanish populations had no immunity to these diseases.
The Treaty of Tordesillas was between Spain and Portugal. Spain took control of most of Central and South America. They also claimed the Philippines. Portugal claimed lands on the eastern and western coasts of Africa in addition to the Brazilian coast.
Hi, I'm Americo Vespucci, and I was an Italian navigator. I crossed the Atlantic several times from Spain and Portugal. I did not think that the land we found was part of Asia. A German mapmaker who agreed with me called the new land America after me.
I am Vasco Núñez de Balboa. I made an overland crossing of the Isthmus of Panama. I reached a vast ocean and named it the South Sea, claiming it for Spain. My discovery made it clear the New World was not part of Asia.
Hello, I am Ferdinand Magellan, and I was a Portuguese navigator sailing for Spain. I found a great ocean, and I named it the Pacific Ocean because it was so calm. I was convinced that I could reach the Spice Islands in East Asia by sailing west.
The Portuguese went to Africa to trade. Slave trade grew quickly when the Portuguese set up sugar plantations on the islands off the coast of Africa.
The slave trade was part of a system known as the triangular trade. The first stage is merchants shipped cotton goods, weapons, and liquor to Africa in exchange for slaves or gold. The Middle Passage is the second stage, the shipment of slaves across the Atlantic to the Americas. To complete the triangle, merchants sent plantation products from America to Europe.
During the 1400s and 1500s, strong states began to rise in West Africa. Not all African states participated in the slave trade. Europeans considered slaves as property. During this time, African populations decreased greatly.
The Portuguese government did not have financial wealth to support such a large empire. Many soldiers were lost at sea. From shipwrecks to battles, the empire had lost many lives and money. Spain annexed from Portugal in 1580. During the time, Portugal's trade was restricted and colonies overseas were neglected. Finally, in 1640, Portugal regained its independence. I think I did really good.
Hi, I'm Christopher Columbus, again, and this is the route I took to the New Worlds. Hi there, Columbus is the name and real estate is the game, and I have a deal for you.
Because of Christopher Columbus's voyage to the New World, we were able to have our first Thanksgiving with the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, which has now become a national holiday.
Thanks for watching. I hope you have all enjoyed this educational experience. Special thanks to Christopher Columbus, Bartholomew Diaz, Magellan, Vasco da Gama, and Balboa for making an appearance today on this special day.